short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, then I shout. Tip me over and pour me out. Tip me over and pour me out.
Lucky for us, we do have friends at the FBI. And they are assisting in picking up our phone calls and fielding our questions about this as to what happens next. Who's being investigated and why? Because it's a lot like pound your fist on the table. Thankfully, President Trump noted a specific domestic terrorist group that they wish to target. Good, you have to name these things. But you have to be able to see what is happening. You have to be able to say, not just, let's go after all of them, but what groups? How are they being funded? What are they doing? And I want to look into one group specifically. I want to begin by saying that this is one of the many groups who are currently under investigation by federal authorities. This you're not supposed to see. It's okay, keep it up. But you're not supposed to see this. Let's go back up the top real fast. This is the now deleted Instagram account, nearly 7,000 followers, of the Armed Queers of Salt Lake City. You'll notice something quite shocking about the Armed Queers of Salt Lake City, that their logo, and maybe this is just happenstance, maybe this is just gallows level happenstance, but their logo happens to include very clearly the same caliber of bullet inscribed with Antifa and pro-queer messaging, much like the bullets that murdered Charlie was. Perhaps this is just a very dark coincidence. I don't know. And it is important for me to establish that I am going to talk about this because I want to bring forward the existence of these groups. I want you to see the groups that exist. I do not know what culpability they have in Charlie's murder because I'm not the federal investigators. But I can tell you that they are being federally investigated. That's what I can tell you. And I can tell you that their behavior has been guilty as hell, meaning they've wiped all of their social media. Why do that? You know, I work in this industry. If you're rapidly deleting things and in a panic, like nuking all of your accounts, it's never a good thing. Something's gone wrong. You're worried about something. That's all I can say. Armed Queers of Salt Lake City. We're just going to focus on this group because I want to give you a little example of what kind of left-wing groups exist out there. Armed Queers of Salt Lake City is a Marxist paramilitary group. It's being investigated by federal authorities in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's left-wing political assassination. This radical group immediately deleted their social media in the aftermath of Charlie's murder. All the data was captured by investigators. Very concerning. And a federal law enforcement source told me this morning that given what they are finding, that this group deserves to be classified as a domestic terrorist organization. We've talked about the logo, but now let's look at some of the deleted videos. In one deleted video, you'll find out that the leaders of the Armed Queers of Salt Lake City just traveled to Cuba. Odd. I guess it's not illegal. But whilst in Cuba, they are bragging about meeting with hardened Marxist revolutionaries and getting training in order to bring the revolution back to America, a country that they call the belly of the beast. The Marxist leaders that they met with bragged about being labeled terrorists. They call themselves doctors. They brag about it. We have the video. It's been saved from a scrubbed social media account. The group has openly coordinated with the Cuban government and the global Marxist movement in various venues and events across America and the world. The leader of this group is an Iranian immigrant, self-identified communist, who's been honored by the U.S. State Department, the United Nations, and has very specific ties to NGOs with dark money funding. Those NGOs, by the way, have completely scrubbed her from all of their pages. Isn't that interesting? great deal of the evidence for all of this comes to us thanks to the Data Republican and other sources. The Data Republican here, breaking down this group. Again, I'll leave it to the federal investigators to figure out what the connection is. But this is just a prime example of a left-wing militant group in the just in the basic general area, not even hard to find, that has very shady and creepy ties to our State Department, to the United Nations, to communists in Cuba. They're getting training there. They're bragging about it. Their Instagram, again, you're not supposed to see this. Their Instagram has no shortage of what would be considered, as far as I'm concerned, posts that are inflammatory, certainly violations of terms of service on the Meta platforms, at the very least. You know, you get like 50 different right-wing Instagram accounts nuked per day by the platform, per second by the platform. Yet accounts like this can remain up, openly calling for revolution in America, openly supporting Iranian, Cuban, Marxist, communist regimes, the Communist Party of China, right down to the very bottom here. Arm trans women. There you go. Arm trans women. I mean, is it incitement? I'm not sure. I'm not a lawyer. Is it something that needs to be looked into? Yes, absolutely. And we're thankful that people are finally looking into it, that J.D. Vance is finally talking about it, that Stephen Miller is saying that the federal resources are going to be there, provided. We're going to look at the funding of these organizations. And President Trump, of course, with a full heart in the Oval Office, saying, yes, we are going to destroy far left-wing, militant, radical extremism. Again, I am a proponent of free speech. I know that that's going to be a big debate right now. Charlie Kirk hated hate speech laws. What's good for the goose, good for the gander. Like, you know, these things can be obviously flipped around in an instant to utterly decimate free speech. The way is the ruthless salting of the earth by federal authorities, classification of proven left-wing militant, terroristic, domestic organizations, and then the prosecution of the funders. And that's the next thing that happens. You hear a lot right now, the term RICO. And that's what happens next. So we're thankful for the full savage mode that the Trump administration is going on right now. President Trump, I want to play one final clip from him, talking about how President Trump, who's being briefed on this daily, I hear, it says that the radicalization occurred through online networks like the one that we just demonstrated to you. Online networks that are now rapidly and quickly trying to delete everything before federal authorities can get it. Now, I can tell you with a high confidence that federal authorities have not only this, but a lot. And that they are trying to piece together right now. If you have any tips, you can go to the FBI tips at FBI.gov and you can send them in. Ladies and gentlemen, President Trump declaring, we know exactly how the left-wing murderer of Charlie Kirk was radicalized. Here we go.
Charlie Kirk's assassination.
And New Orleans we want to get to, too.
Your FBI is investigating the potential role of left-wing organizations in the assassination. I'm wondering if you think if Charlie Kirk's assassin worked alone or if he worked with him.
I don't know. I mean, I can tell you he didn't work alone on the Internet because it seems that he became radicalized on the Internet. That's just by watching same things that you're watching and hearing. It looks like he became radicalized over the Internet. And it seems like he has wonderful parents, brought in a wonderful neighborhood, smart guy, great boards, great marks, great student. And then something happened to him over a fairly short period of time. It looks like he was radicalized over the internet, and it's radicalized on the left. He's a left. I have a lot of problems with the left, and they get protected, and they shouldn't be protected. But as you understand, I think very well from the tone of your question. Thank you very much.